Day number 2 here at the European Ultimate Championship Finals. And we are opening things up with a mixed pre-quarter matchup between Nullacht and Savage. Nullacht from Germany, Savage from Poland. Lou Burgess here alongside Ben Juries. How you doing tonight?
I'm excited. I'm good. It's nice to get down into bracket play here on day 2. Game's now a little bit longer, 90 minutes rather than the 80 we had for most of the day yesterday, so there's more time to get the game to its full length.
And an immediate deep shot from Nullacht. Big pressure underneath it. And Mikhail Schüler does get the block for Savage. We suspected Nullacht would be going for a bit of a deep game coming into this one. Was not expecting it to be basically the first throw, and Savage returning with one of their own. Again, lots of even a massive second effort grab. And a calm reset to follow. Would be a break for Savage to open up the game. That is a stone cold bobble.
Yeah, obviously, so you might be able to hear through the field mic. The wind is a little bit stronger today than it was yesterday, and you'll see it whipping the flags in the background certainly more strongly. And it means that, you know, generally I think players are probably going to try and fire these discs a little bit more, and it will make them slightly trickier to handle.
So Nullacht on their second attempt at this opening hold. The pass sailing just a little bit too far for Lisa Greifer.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see how these two teams adapt to a Saturday that it does not feel the same way that the Friday did, where it was hot, it was still glorious, and now overcast. There's maybe a bit of rain in the air, it's windier as well. And your ultimate, I think, generally is probably going to be a little less clean.
Yeah, it's interesting to see what the adaptations will be from the teams, but that is a fantastic block from Jonas Schluch.
Yeah, in a little bit, probably at the end of the point, we'll talk about how these two teams got on yesterday. But you can tell, maybe it's the fact that it's now, you know, we're now into the knockout phases, that there maybe is a little bit of tension and in the air, and I don't want to say nerves necessarily, but maybe some slight anxieties. What a throw that is.
Ooh, threading the needle. And getting it straight back. Looks like Nullacht are settling into this point a little bit more, but they still have a long way to go. They haven't reached half yet. Lots of defensive pressure being put on by this Polish side. Nice little upline. Schlutt now shoots to the end zone, and it is reeled in. Anna Kampert with the score, and Nullacht, despite a few jitters, do hold their first low point.
Yeah, not clean, which is obviously not what they wanted to see. The most important thing for Nullacht is they did get that first point on the board. I mentioned in our big, in the EUCF pool reveal that Nullacht meant clockwork. It does not mean clockwork. I was clearly led astray by some translation issues. It actually just means 08, which is the year the club was founded, and you might be thinking, hang on a minute. Ultimate Frisbee only started in the 60s. How was the club founded in 1908? Were they actually geniuses? Well, they might be, but it's because it's a multi-sport club, so obviously it existed as an entity even before Frisbee was started. Hello. You can see we look a little bit colder than we did yesterday.
Yeah, we've got some layers on.
Still nowhere I would rather be, though.
No, this is the place to be this weekend for European Ultimate fans and Ultimate fans all around the world. It's our pleasure to be here, bringing you the action live.
Yeah, cello, wherever you're watching, whether it's here in Poland, in Germany, or, I mean, who knows where. Great to have you with us.
So Savage eating up the yards. This is some fast-paced offense. Knocking on the doorstep now. Scuba over the top.
Whoa, what a denial. It was an interesting look for an offense that seemed to be nicely flowing until they got to the end zone line, and then everything collapsed, it stifled, and that meant they put the slightly spurious option up, and what a way to take it away.
So, deep shot from Nullacht. It's a bit overthrown though. Huge opportunity for a break wasted. Let's take another look at this block. Scuba was a little bit underthrown, but then again, it was going to be difficult.
And yes, it was underthrown, but you still got to make sure that you can take it away, and that's exactly what he did. He didn't just tip it, he caught the D, and that meant there was no chance of a second effort grab.
Go back. Fakes the deep shot, but opts for this safe under instead. Cheeky little pass to the front of the stack. And there's the deep shot. This time in much more space and comfortably collected by Adam Lipak. And Savage get their first point on the board.
Yeah, that's smoother. I think that's what they were. Both sides are kind of looking for here. They do want to try and stretch the field, put a lot of pressure on those downfield defenders, make them constantly threatening that deep, and that opens more underspace. And of course, if they bite hard on that, then you do have those deep options available. But for Savage, who are the Polish national champions in this division, trying to kind of, I think this might be their first outing at the big show here at EUCF, and they want to make sure that they're not here to make up the numbers. They are, you know, they see themselves as a top 8 side, and they're determined to go out and prove that here.
So 1 point apiece here. Nullacht with their second offensive point of the game. Playing some horizontal stack. And a deep shot, nice and early. Looking for Schlutt in the end zone, and he does bring it down.
That's a beautiful shot, Luke. There's a very clear, systematic foot to try and clear out deep spaces, give players a lot of space to work, so you know you can commit to maybe the double cuts, the triple cuts, and you say, we trust you, given enough time to get it free, and we'll clear the space for you to do that. And when the deep game is on form, it is an incredibly difficult thing to stop. Just collecting the under there on the far side, plenty of time and space for Schenk to shoot, and he shoots it bang on the money there, the young German under-24 standout.
So much better performance on the second point for the O-line of Nullacht. Both these teams coming into this game with one win and 2 losses.
Correct. For Nullacht, they came out in the top spot in a 3-way tie. They had a huge win first thing up against Flow, the home team here in Wrocław, and then followed that up 15-11 loss to Disconnection, who beat everyone in the pool, and then somewhat disappointing actually for them, a 15-13 loss to Smog, but of course thanks to that rollicking result over Flow, they took the second spot in the pool. Savage were third in their pool. And as you mentioned, 1 win, 2 losses. They started with a universe point loss to Reading. Tough result for them to take, but a really good performance. And then went down a little bit more meekly to Frub, 15-9, before polishing off Zoom, 15-6 in their last match of the day.
Well, Savage are off to the races now, eating up the yards once again. There's the shot to the end zone, and this time it is complete on the first time basket, but there is a call. Potentially a travel.
Yeah, I saw the signal for the travel call. Just run it back.
Yeah, do it again.
Sometimes it's really tricky though, because the opponent knows what's coming, and it can be difficult to kind of reset your focus and concentration after already kind of thinking you've scored and having that natural release of energy.
So dump swing offense around the end zone, and a cheeky little dish into the end zone. And a Mireka with the score. And we are on serve still.
Yeah, first clean hold of the game. So we did mention that there would have to be some adjustment to the conditions, and it seems like, you know, both sides are kind of settling into the rhythm a little bit. Those early nerves potentially have dissipated out of the system. Yeah, promises to be a tight showdown all the way, which is what you like to see.
The wind has dropped a little bit, potentially helping with these previous two clean holds from each team. Side stack coming out for Nullacht at this point. They had one player on the far side, so not a pure side stack, but they've got themselves to halfway pretty speedily. Have to reset now though. Redden tries to go back to Skriber, who does eventually collect the disc. Approaching their opponent's brick mark now. Hotly contested pass up the line. Looking for something in field. Goes up line. Not quite in the end zone.
No one really seems to be cutting.
Nice high grab. And the reset, but not quite in the end zone just yet. That'll do it though. Milena Kintrup with the score, I believe.
Yeah, first clean hold of the game for Nullacht, and they got into a little bit of a jam at one point, but they did manage to settle into it eventually. That was the dicey moment. It was good defensive pressure, but I love the focus there to stick with it, not give up on it, and collect the second effort. And then just outside the end zone, that's a nice pop-up grad made there by Camfert, and rather than let the adrenaline get the better of her, takes the reset, goes back to Schreiber, and then they're just continuing that break around. And Verden punches it into the end zone, and Kintrup makes it 3-2.
So both teams well and truly settled into this game now, converting their offenses without turning over. So now it's time to see what the D-lines can come up with. They're not getting the disc for free anymore, that's for sure. Nice deep pull. Stall count was rising, but Savage do find the release valve. Hektovaska with the disc. Stall count rising again. Winds up and uncorks the big one. Not quite in bounds though.
Yeah, there were a couple of Nullacht players who pulled that almost instantly,
There's Gipke with the throw. And Lipak with...
It's a very good effort. It was a close run thing, and in the end they're accepting the out call, so Nullacht's disc.
Yeah. Deep shots really do need to be flat in these conditions. If there's any edge on them at all. Oh, and he gets it back.
Way to make amends.
Yeah, Gipke with the block, and he will pick up as well. But the centering pass was read like a book by Lars Schmidt. It's working around the back. The downfield defense from Savage, forcing Nullacht back as the wind picks up once again. Nullacht finally making a bit of progress. Schmidt shoots deep, straight into the waiting defense. Kleveska with the block.
Very nearly got away with it anyway, did Nullacht on the second effort, but the defender, I think, it came so quickly that all they could really do was just stick the arms up and try and get enough of a piece to take it away, and they just about did that.
Novak shooting deep, looking for Mreka in the end zone, and she does read it better. Savage hold their offense and get their third point on the board.
Merecka, that is all that experience, the knowledge, and just using and trusting your read as well. When you're going up against a couple of players, especially bigger players, it's so important to not get suckered in, not get baited into trying going up earlier than you need to, than you have to, and that time let the defender get too far, and defenders get too far underneath it, and what that meant was then she had a little bit of time, stuck with her gumption, knew that she had the better read on where this was going, and Jędrzej Novak with the deep shot just about over the defender. It leaves Friederike a little bit unsighted as well, and Anna Merecka catches her second goal of the game for Savage. Nullacht, I think early on in those last couple of points, they've come out on offense. They've had a couple of pool plays drawn up, which they've been able to execute. It wouldn't surprise me to see Savage maybe come out in a zone somewhat briefly just to try and stop or frustrate these.
It is zone conditions today, a lot more so than yesterday.
Oh, 100%.
We did see some zone being played yesterday with some effect. Very spread out offense from Nullacht. They go down the far sideline. Kintrup goes back to Schneck. Infield to Whedon. Looking for the reset, nicely done. Schreiber goes upfield, Schlutt now. Goes back infield, swing to the far side. And Nullacht comfortably working the disc down the pitch now. Back to Schneck. Centering pass and this continuation. Textbook ultimate being played. But can they stay patient and punch in the goal? Bit of a miscommunication there, perhaps. Gift for Savage.
So Savage are going to get an opportunity to find their first break after Nullacht. Looking so consistent all the way up until the end zone. now unfortunately surrendering it back.
So let's see what Savage can do. No one has punched in a break just yet. There have been some chances.
Yeah, it feels like the wind's coming as a crosswind here, so towards the cameras.
Big deep shot goes up. This is going to be a tough one. Heroic effort, but realistically, that was always going to go to ground.
You can't fault the commitment, but yeah, maybe a little bit of self-preservation wouldn't have hurt. But then this is why I don't make sick layout grabs.
But you also don't make sick layout misses.
No, or do anything on a Frisbee field really at this point.
So Nullacht with most of the pitch to go to hold their offense. Schlut. Back to Wieden. Low catch, but is collected by Greifer. Back to Schlut. Schlut again. Schreiber. Bit of a bobble, but Schlut does maintain possession on the end zone line now. Schnick. And Schlut does catch the disc past the bidding defender. Heroic effort. But that is a hold for Nullacht.
Again, the commitment of the Poles cannot be questioned, but maybe he's done a little bit of a mischief to himself on the landing there. Hopefully that's nothing too serious. It's just maybe a bit of an impact potentially, but for, you know, despite the turnover they had in the red zone on the first possession, it feels that the offense is quite, it feels quite very German in a way, because it's quite mechanical, and I don't mean that in a dismissive or disrespectful way. It's thorough, it's methodical, it works. It's based on those fundamentals that time and time again, it doesn't matter kind of what the style is, if you can't execute on the fundamentals properly, you're always going to struggle. But they take the right options. They don't tend to force things too much. They'll just calmly work their way around, and I like it.
Yeah, ultimate, at the end of the day, is a game about throwing and catching a Frisbee.
Wait, what?
Shocking, I know. It's not actually about how fast you can run 60 meters and how high you can jump, unlike what everyone on Reddit seems to think. And as we see there, the throw was okay, but the catch never came, so opportunity now for Nullacht. We are still on serve. This would be the first break of the game. More hot defense from Savage. A massive hammer over the top towards the end zone. Bump on the catch.
Yeah, foul is called there from Pepperhofer. Have a look at it again on the replay, see what you think at home.
I think there's a good chance he'd have dropped that anyway without the contact.
Possible, but the contact did come.
Yeah, so he's got an opportunity to call the foul and he's taken it.
Yeah, obviously he might not uphold this call, he might retract it, it might be contested, or it could even be accepted. We'll have a look at it again.
The contact was definitely unnecessary. Like, he wasn't going to get the disc, ever. He pulled out too late.
Certainly clumsy.
Yeah.
And I say that as someone who can sympathise with being clumsy.
Yeah, you see, the defender pops up in the air, realizes, oh, I'm not actually going to get that. So the
contested in the end, I think.
Looks like it.
Do you think he'll pull the hammer again?
I hope so.
That wasn't what I asked. Do you think he will?
No.
No, me neither.
Fortunately, we've yet to petition hard enough for Glasgow rules to be added to the official rules list. And a nice high tip will push the disc out of bounds, and Savage get another opportunity to hold their offense.
Yeah, it's not going to be the first time or the last time we call Mateusz Gibke's name this game. The joint stats leader for the team coming into this with 9 assists and a couple of goals, and he is kind of instrumental, I think, to the way they play. A, kind of helping to quarterback the offense, and B, if they do turn it over, helping to win it back.
So Mrexka with the disc for Savage. Gives it to the player we just mentioned, who immediately sticks it deep. This one's hanging, body's underneath it, and Nullacht do get the better of that contest.
Shooter's going to shoot, but yeah, that one's up there for way too long, and credit to the defender who always has position, goes up nice and early, and just did not give the receiver away through at all.
So give go, and the return pass sets up the power position, but the trigger is not pulled, and Nullacht opts for the centering pass instead.
Yeah, sensible option. When he saw the potential deep shot go up, one of the players sagged off to try and prevent that, and they took the post option, but again, Savage are able to earn it back through Gibke.
Gibke is just all over this point. On the end zone line now. Still count rising. Nullacht not giving Savage much of a look in, but the backwards pass opened up a little bit of space, and that's all they needed to get their fourth point on the board, and we are still on serve.
Sometimes you need a little bit of that southern comfort, I think, in order to make things work. Going backwards does give you a little bit more space. The defense adjusts, and as players come out a little bit, the angles change. You give yourself more space to work with, and that time, by going backwards, they kind of overcommit defenders towards the break side on the force. It opens up that little lane from the front of the stack to shoot towards the break side, and it's a simple pop into the end zone for the Savage score. The question for me is, are either side going to be able to take any of the break opportunities they're creating?
They have to eventually.
Do they, though?
No.
Because
it is possible.
As we saw at EUC earlier this year, in a game featuring the Polish mixed side against Lithuania,
I was trying to remember which one.
There were no breaks all game.
No, there were plenty of turnovers.
And Lithuania won the flip and chose D.
Yeah. Rookie error.
Not if you get a break. But they didn't.
No, win the toss and choose O. Like,
yes.
Unless it's upwind, downwind. Goodness sake.
I agree with you, I think. We've had this discussion.
We have.
Now just outside the end zone are the Germans looking for a clean hold.
See if they can keep up this methodical offense, and a fantastic low IO flick break does the job for Nullacht. 5 points without being broken.
I am such a sucker for an IO flick, Luke. I love it. What I like as well is, I think too often players get caught in thinking about a pivot being flat and you can go one way or the other, and actually you've got a full 360 degrees, right?
Yeah.
You don't have to stay on that same lateral plane, and not doing so sometimes helps you. In fact, a lot of the time helps you because it changes the angles of attack, and that pivot, rather than just coming sideways, it's a little bit forward, and it helps create the angle. You get slightly past the mark, you're already picking out your target, and that flat flick in through that inside-out channel gives Nullacht the 5-4 lead.
Yeah, I was once told you should pivot at 90 degrees to where you want the receiver to catch the disc. So in that case, pivoting slightly forwards meant that the straight line that the hips, from the hips to the point of reception, was slightly off to one side, and beautifully executed IO flip break. That roller pull a bit short. I think there's potential to get some more distance on that, but it does mean that the defense will be set once the disc has been brought back in.
What have they got against our camera equipment?
Oh, they managed to miss the camera.
Just about.
Yeah.
Floater into the centre.
That was not how they drew it up, I'm sure.
I think there you can say that the sideline rolling pull did its job, but it's thrown right back into Polish hands.
I have to say the probability of a zero break game is increasing as these points go on. But there's a long way still to go. But Savage with excellent field position. Just looking to work it into the end zone. Up line is looked off, and that is a foot block.
It's so satisfying. I was slightly expecting the timeout call there, given how slightly sloppy I think the D-line offenses have been, but no such luck coming on this occasion.
Oh, fantastic layout grab. Schlutz maintains possession from Nullacht, and the deep shot goes. Slightly overthrown though.
It was a real hero-making pass, and it was able to come because Adam Wipak, he went for the layout block on the underneath pass and didn't get it. It means that he's not in a position to apply pressure on the force, and thus a thrower has a lot more time and space to really step into that throw, and he just left a little bit too much on it.
Oh. Huge run-through layout block from Lars Schmidt. And this is by far the best break opportunity that either team has had all game long.
Have to be punching it in from here.
Schlutz will pick up the disc for Nullacht. Looks for the centering pass. And finally does punch one into the middle of the end zone. Jakob Fass with the score, and Nullacht draw first blood, 6-4.
Yeah, we finally have the game's first break, and sides were generating turnovers, and it felt like it was just a question of when rather than if, because if you continue to generate those turns, you feel like eventually you'll cash one in, and you might see there's a particularly odd-looking object in there. It's a roof slate. We found out that one of the players is actually a roofer, and they're kind of trying to celebrate and have a little bit of fun with that, with a roof slate that they have, I think, reappropriated, commandeered. We won't go into how, that's not important, but every time they score a break, they notch another one up on the roof tile. From a Nullacht perspective, I think they're hoping that we'll be seeing a lot more of that as the game goes on.
So Nullacht pulling, looking for their second break in a row to really stamp their authority on this game. It is a phenomenal pull.
That's a superb pull.
Landed and stayed in bounds, presumably. Couldn't quite see it from our angle. And a massive layout block, once again giving Nullacht fantastic field position. This is what happens when you throw such a monstrous pull and have a good chase down. Put so much pressure on the other team. Another close layout bid attempt, but Nullacht maintained possession outside the end zone, just working it around the back. Massive opportunity. They are being pushed back, and their stack is very, very deep. On the doorstep now. Bernhard finds the centering pass to GRUT and then receives it back. Just the two of them outside the end zone. Happy to work it between themselves. But once again being pushed back. Nice IO break. Finds Schlut. And the shot to the end zone leaves a lot to be desired.
It was so patient, and you know, even when they were a couple of yards away, they kept going backwards, and to then turn it on a shot like that is somewhat puzzling, to be honest.
Yeah, that was not the option. And Savage, recognizing the gravity of the situation, opts to call the timeout on the slow turnover. So as the players take a quick break, so will we. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back after this.
We live in a world where everything can be referenced online. Imagine if the greatest moments in our sport were never filmed. Eurodisc continues to do what it takes to make free-to-watch live streams a reality. Let's leave nothing to the imagination. We'll consume the action live, and we'll support those that help to make it happen. If it wasn't streamed, it didn't happen. Eurodisc.
What a grab! Oh my God! Somehow they do it!
Isn't this for the other apparel? We've got like new stuff, right? Bring it! No, bring it in.
Feast your eyes on the new fan version of our iconic ULTI.TV sweatshirts. Great fan gear available for you. Check out our new range of colors and insist on staying warm and looking fresh. Shipping is available after EUCF. Get your fan gear and be one of us.
He's in a great spot. He's in a perfect spot. Yes, his massive head has blocked everything. That was a huge play.
And we are back underway, and Savage immediately give the disc back.
The turnout is real, folks. By the way, shout out to Finney, somehow pinning us while in an advert.
Oh no, that is just a stone cold drop. The curse of the turnout seems to be striking both teams.
That's when you want back. He's just trying to catch that one as he's looking towards the end zone, and it is tricky when it's coming over your head a little bit sometimes to get in position for the clap catch, as that is a sensational rising snag made there by Jędrzej Nowak.
Thought the deep shot was going to go, but it was holstered. This one goes though. Blading down and over the head. It's just slight misread from Karpela. And Nullacht get another break chance. The third of this point, I think. At least.
Yeah, I think that's right.
Long way to go now, though. They've had much better field position, but ultimate is a game of possession, not really a field position. Let's see what they can make of it. Big deep shot goes up. Arcing down, and Givic will eat that one up.
I feel like the receiver kind of wasn't actually expecting that one to go, because Gibke always had possession. I'm not quite sure what he was hoping. Well, I know what he was hoping to achieve with the layout there, but it was never likely to happen, I think.
Well, Savage do have the full length of the field to go, and they're on their own corner.
Yeah, it's not the first time they've been stuck in perilous field position. Oof. As it's macked, and it couldn't quite get the Callahan, but it is still a glorious chance to continue the break train.
Well, this is the second time at this point they've got a turnover essentially on the goal line. Let's see if they can be a little bit more clinical this time of asking.
And this one is literally on the goal line.
thought he was going to try and catch that himself, which is not allowed.
No, I think he was hoping maybe that if he stays there, someone will tip it and he can catch it, but they actually did the right thing and just left it alone as that one bounces short and rolls out of the side to prevent the quick pickup. What a wasted opportunity.
So you're not allowed to catch your own disc, but you are allowed to mack your own disc. So he could have just like jumped up and popped it up and hoped someone else caught it.
See, I thought you couldn't touch it first after you threw it.
You can't catch it first, but you are allowed to mack it. That might be a change in the most recent, or the edition before. I can't remember, but you are allowed to mack your own disc after throwing it.
I will have to look that one up.
Either way, Nullacht with most of the field to work down. They have to be kicking themselves for giving up so many break chances on the goal line. Something to work on as the tournament progresses, perhaps, but they still have a long way to go to close out this game, as the players are going to take a brief pause to give Bristol the disc back, playing their crossover match against Iceni on the pitch behind. Seems to be 4-6 in that game. Not sure who to.
You'd put Iceni as the favourites, but you never know.
You never know. Weird things happen in these national matchups.
Yeah, especially now that you're in, bracket play.
So a clean drop gives Nullacht the disc back. About half the field to work with. That's a high disc. I thought the wind was going to take it away, but it sails down perfectly into the hands of the receiver, and Nullacht do eventually punch in the break. There you go, 7-4 up. Looking to take half with a
potential 4-point run. It's their third on the bounce. Really raking around, and I'm not convinced that was the intended target there, Lina Hermaking. But she, again, she trusted her read, stuck with it well, and then pops to Berent at the front of the end zone to give Nullacht the 7-4 advantage. 3 on the spin for them now, and Savage is just, they're reeling a little bit, it feels. This is probably, it's not, obviously, yes, the conditions are different to yesterday, but you know, you don't take Reading to Universe unless you can play some really clean ultimate. And we just haven't been able to see that as yet in this game, really, from them.
Unless Reading don't show up. I don't know. I didn't watch that game. Maybe Reading were playing horribly.
Even
I doubt
so.
it. They're a talented squad.
And even if they play badly, generally they find ways to get things done.
Reading playing badly finished 4th in the UK, which is not a bad result at all.
It's not a great result.
It's not a great result. Reading playing well win.
Yes, that's as we saw at the Elite Invite, of course.
But yeah, it is a little surprising to see a team that is capable of taking Reading to Universe. Oh, this doesn't quite roll to me, but I did catch one yesterday.
You did catch one yesterday. You beat me to it.
Yeah.
Skill
issue.
Which I thought was very rude.
It's not often that we get a chance to sky each other in the booth.
I don't know about sky.
Well, Savage, decent field position to work with. As the rain starts to come down, you can see a few drops on our camera, but nothing to worry about just yet.
I don't like the way you said just yet there, Luke.
Hopefully it'll stay away. Bruna now unleashes the forehand.
What a deep shot.
Perfectly into the hands of the intended receiver. Now Nullacht, can they clean up their end zone offense and punch it in on the first time of asking? Yes, they can. Textbook ultimate, dumping and swinging around the end zone, and they do take half, 8-4.
Yeah, this was tight at the start for the first kind of 2/3 of that first half before Nullacht really pulled away from it. At the end, the roof slate comes out once more to chalk up the third break in a row. It was all really opened up by the wonderful deep shot, well judged over the head of every single defender, but rather than try and force it in as we've seen teams have problems with at times. They would, again, get back methodical, get back into the phases. We will dump and swing and trust that we'll get that easy option eventually available. And 8-4, Nullacht, I think, in prime position here to seal a place in the quarterfinals.
Well, as the players take a break for halftime, which the scorekeepers are trying to get them to do, I think their teams are unaware that it's half, perhaps.
No, they've swapped ends as they should be doing, because obviously we mirror how we started at the first half. So it should be Nullacht pulling from the right-hand end zone, and the fact that Savage already congregated in the left end zone means that they have clocked that it is half-time.
Well, we're going to take a quick break. Don't go nowhere. We'll be right back.
We are Hive Ultimate, a group of players and coaches from all over the world working together to progress the next generation of Ultimate strategy. We've helped top teams win world championships and new teams introduce the sport in a fun and inclusive way. Search for Hive Ultimate on YouTube to learn more about our cutting-edge strategies and to see analysis of world-class teams. To find out what Hive can do for your team, head over to our Patreon page where you can gain access to our exclusive drills and session plans and to join our worldwide community of coaches. Get ahead of the curve with Hive Ultimate.
So second half action underway here in the mixed division pre-quarter. Savage looking to dig themselves out of a bit of a hole after Nullacht went on a 4-point run to end that first half. Big deep shot. Well run down and jumped into the end zone by Jakub Kaczmarek. And that's a confident start to the second half for Savage.
Fair play, given how the first half ended for the Poles. You know, you'd be forgiven for thinking, okay, it's not quite worked. We'll just calm down a little bit. We'll work it down the pitch. We'll get that hold and we'll build from there. But that's not the way they think. They know that their deep game, when it's on form, can be so tough to stop. And in that case, why go away from it? Dvorzewski with the deep shot that is bang, bang, bang on the money, and Kaczmarek duly milking it into the end zone for the score. I like that. It speaks to a confidence about them that we know what our game is and we back it.
Yeah, they've had a few miscues throughout the game, but that one was bang on the money.
So the winner of this game plays deep space in the quarter-final.
That's unfortunate for whichever team has to do that. Deep space looking pretty hot this weekend.
Yeah, one of 4 undefeated sides. The 4 pool winners, which is deep space and disconnection in the bottom half of the bracket, and somewhat inevitably Reading and GRUT in the top half.
So Nullacht's first 0 point of the second half. They go for a deep shot themselves, and that is nicely brought down, but a pick hole will halt proceedings.
So yep, so going to go back to the thrower here. Gideon Schenk wearing those long compression socks.
Another close layout bit attempt. But Whedon with the disc from Nullacht. Goes for the around break. And the continuation of the far side. Textbook ultimate once again from the Germans, as we've been seeing all game long. High release flick though.
Oh, lovely.
And an immediate punch into the end zone. That's what happens when you move the disc to the break side. And a clean hold for Nullacht
He made that high release flick look so easy. Let me tell you, folks, it very much is not, but you could tell that he was happy with it, kind of swagging away after the point was eventually converted. There's the swing past the bidding defender, but they work it back towards the break side. And how about this, especially in these windy conditions? Whoop!
With a defender whose arms were already up. That's bold.
Love it. I love the confidence. Would you like to know what's going on in the other pre-quarterfinals in the mixed division?
Go on then.
So, on the top half of the bracket, Reading take on the winner of the game between Lemmings and Tartu Turbulence, and somewhat inevitably in a game featuring the Estonians, it's pretty close. Tartu currently up 6-5. GRUT will play the winner of Frub and Smog, and Smog are up 8-4 at half in that one, so potentially looking good for a quarter final in the bottom half of the bracket. Disconnection face the winner of the all-French affair between Monkey and Manchot, and Manchot have a 7-6 lead, and of course here Nullacht up 9-5 on Savage, with the winner going on to face Deep Space. And I'll give you an update on the women's quarterfinals, at the pre-quarterfinals I should say, at the end of the point.
So Savage looking to get another clean hold in the second half. They'll have some work to do on defense, but it's got to start with an offensive hold. Deep shot goes up and is snatched away.
Not quite sure how that worked.
There is a call, yeah, and I'm not surprised there's a call because something looked a bit off about that. Let's have another look. It's not obvious that anything illegal happened, but it was a bit rude. But a bit rude is not against the rules.
True.
So Savage maintained possession. Tight defense from Nullacht though, lots of bodies in that space. And the turnover does come. So break chance for Nullacht, looking to extend their lead early in the second half. But that is a Callahan.
That is a Callahan. Well, the turnover must have been tactical, I guess, Lou.
Perhaps. That was an errant swing pass and gobbled up.
You're seeing that there have been times when the wind hasn't necessarily felt like a factor. This one, it definitely was, going for that wide swing there. And the edge is wrong, and it just takes it over and away from the receiver. And it also requires a hell of a play on the other end of it to get the Callahan as well. Coming over the top with the left hand, trying to grab it clean. We'll get a second look at it from Cam 2 on the low angle as well. Looking for Hermicking, but it's over her head. And what a way to snatch that one away, Jakub Kaczmarek. Well, that could be a big boost for Savage.
Yeah, that kind of energetic play is just what Savage needed to get themselves back in this game. As our stats taker just had to work out how to input a Callahan into our system.
Didn't get any on stream yesterday, but gonna have first today.
Love to see it.
Did you get a greatest though?
There it is. Nice score for Nullacht.
I don't think the Callahan has phased them too much, Lou.
No, Nullacht just came out and got the job done. No problem.
After you give up a big play like that, and one that can be a bit of a heartbreaker, it's easy to, your heads drop a little bit. The opponent is up, they're pumped, but That was a very professional score there from Nullacht. They seem like they're still laser locked in. Trust the process, and that's on the inside backhand, front and centre, just outside the end zone, and tossing it up towards the break side for the score. I did promise you women's division updates. Would you like them?
Go on then.
In the top half of the bracket, Jinx plays the winner of the weekend.
Other stream?
That is on the other stream. You are bang on the money. East Block played the winner of Dublin Gravity versus Troubles Warsaw, and Troubles have a 9-7. Yaka play the winner of Iceni and Bristol, and Iceni are now up 10-4, I can see, on the far pitch, so they're looking good for that quarterfinal spot. And then Shout played the winner of Moon Cup and 3SB, and the Belgians Moon Cup are up 10-5 there. When we know which quarterfinals we will be streaming, we will of course let you know. Keep an eye on the YouTube playlists to find out.
Right, returning our attention to this mixed pre-quarter. Savage have a lot of work still to do, but Nullacht now with another break chance, looking to extend their lead. Run through block over the top. Foul call though. Anna Bernhardt felt that she got some contact on the hand perhaps.
And the foul is accepted.
Good spirit on display. Look now, deep shot. Plenty of bodies underneath it, and Savage bring it down comfortably and shoot deep themselves. But Bernhardt was always the closest to that disc, really. Nullacht with another chance.
Again, another good example of a player trusting their own positioning.
Just looking to settle themselves a bit. Not doing anything too hasty. Nice quick lefty dish. Oh, what a save that is. Schlutz.
Seems certain for turf.
Falke goes to the end zone, but not quite.
Just a little bit too much zip on the pass to Hermaking, who's comes from an ultimate family, actually. I think I've seen her parents play in the Great Grandmasters division. As Savage taking a timeout, the first timeout of the second half, and they're going to need to cook out something not just for this point, but something to dramatically flip the game in their favour, because at the moment Nullacht sitting pretty and looking good for the quarterfinals.
Yeah, we'll see what they cook up after this short break.
Have you seen our VO streams? Do you know that VO cameras are built for more tactical team sport analysis? The inbuilt tracking technology allows you to see the game in finer detail. That's why teams are already using it, and ULTI.TV and EUF are teaming up to help you join VO. Contact EUF administration to get more details.
There are so many reasons to outfit your team in Force beyond just looking the part of a champion. Force offers professional design services with their dedicated graphics team. All apparel is produced in France. Force works with a local labour team and their raw materials are sourced in Europe. Force insists on transparency with no hidden fees and international express shipping. Look the part and play the part with Force Sportswear.
Mixed division pre-quarter action as Savage come out of this timeout.
Coach Burgess
Hello.
What's your suggestion for how they start coming out of this timeout?
I don't know, just bang it deep.
Oh, I thought you were going to say play some hex, but bang it deep.
Nah, just bang it deep.
Bang it deep also works, to be fair.
Bang it deep.
I feel like when Savage are at their best, it is when they have that deep game fit and fully firing, and the conditions today aren't as fruitful for that sort of game plan, and I think that's partly why they've struggled a little bit out here. I also think a very important thing here is, whatever you do, don't turn it near your own end zone.
Exactly, just bang it deep.
Bang it deep.
Don't think about it, just throw the disc towards the end zone. They have a slight deep poach set up, so I'd bang it deep to one of the two players on this near sideline who are both being poached under. Or just throw the swing that's now been poached off. Oh, they do bang it deep. How about that? That was unfortunate. They tried.
All should have worked. Hit the receiver in the hand, but coming in at a slightly awkward angle. I thought it wasn't going to do it because they set the defender in the lane, and now it's a deep shot for Nullacht, and Savage rip it away through Adam with Pack, but maybe unfairly so.
Foul call retracted, maybe? No? Yeah.
I feel like he had good position there.
Yeah, it looks pretty clean to me, and they do agree on the turnover, so Savage get the disc back. There's a receiver streaking deep, who then stops, and the disc went up anyway, but what a read. Defender never really getting position. And a pop into the end zone.
It's good work from Kaczmarek, who's one of their favourite deep strikers. It was a lovely throw as well. But I'm going to question the defending there from Johannes Prinsen, because he never turned around to have a look at it. He had no idea.
I feel like it was quite a blockable pass. The deep cut went very early and from quite deep. The thrower then hesitated and then put it up anyway. Not the most clinical deep shot, but it did work. A goal is a goal. Doesn't matter how you got it.
That is very true. Having a look at some of the predictions on the ULTI.TV Patreon page.
Yeah, there is a picks contest up for today.
Everyone in the mixed division seems to think GRUT are the odds-on favourites.
Shocking.
I know, but I mean, they've still got a match. They've still got to get to the final in the first place, because as it stands at the moment, looks like we could be on for a Reading quarter-final, semi-final, I should say, and those two teams always play out bangers, to be honest.
Yeah, neither team is one you want to play in bracket play.
Yeah, if you want to join, the predictions contest, be in a chance of winning some swag, then patreon.com/ULTI.TV, and in doing so, you help support the growth of free live coverage of the sport as well. So, hey, there's no reason not to, really.
So Nullacht working the disc up, ever closer to the end zone. Patient and methodical, as we've come to expect this game. Nice little cut back to receive that pass. And a high release backhand over the top into the end zone. Gets the job done. Nullacht with another point on the board.
It seemed like a simple score in the end, that pop to Grefa, because she did all the hard work in that cut and getting free. A very strong jab step. The defender gets turned around and loses sight, and in that position just takes the opportunity to exploit that seam. And we'll have a look at it again on the replay here. Love to get the disc in that central position, Nullacht. Just there, just shimmy one way. Defender loses sight and commits, and that gives the opportunity for Grefa to take advantage. The thrower hits it for the 11-7 lead. 4 points in front, 4 points from the victory. It's always a good position to be in, knowing that you'd have to be doubled up, or more than doubled up, to see the game escape you.
It's not over yet, though. They still have to score 4 more.
Yeah, the game is still certainly very much alive, but it's a tough ask for a Savage side that haven't managed to break so far this game.
They've had chances, but they've never looked particularly threatening. So that disc sails out of bounds.
Yeah, you can just see the wind continuing to push it out of this sideline. Feels like a relatively straight crosswind, maybe slightly left to right. So towards the bottom right of your screen.
So let's see what Savage can do. Once again, need to hold this offense before coming up with something on defense. Poach off of the reset. It's taken. Just working it around the back for now. Lots of movement downfield, but finally a gainer's found. Big layout attempt, but that disc was always just a bit too wide. Bounces off the hands of Makaushka.
Yeah, Manchkovska's done a fantastic job. Full extension and get the hand to it, but just cannot quite close it in time. And the disc agonizingly bounces away.
Nullacht now. Looking for another break. Schlutz. Tries to go for a gainer into the middle of the pitch, but the wind has other ideas. Some nice give goes between a couple of Savage players. Wind is picking up now, which is why we're seeing these discs just bobble a little bit more. Throwers having to focus just a bit more than they have been all game, and a big forehand into the end zone was never really going to come off.
Yeah, those blades are now, I think, a bit too risky. Sorry to cut you off there, Lou, because you're showing the face of the disc to the wind, and that is naturally going to push it away from where you want it to go.
Yeah, it was always closer to a Nullacht defender than it was to a Savage receiver.
Savage looking for the second half's first break here. Savage? Nullacht, I should say.
Well, there haven't been any breaks in the first half, and the second half so far, so either team would be getting the first one, and that disc just sails a bit too high. A foul is being called.
Yeah, Mirko Pepperhover was the player getting a hand on it. By the way, Pepperhover is the roofer. I don't think there's anything when he's going up initially, and he probably should have had it there, but maybe contact prevents him from getting a second effort attempt in.
Yeah, foul on the second effort is surely the call. But then again, he should have called it the first time.
He absolutely should have called it the first time.
Would have solved all the problems.
Done.
Okay, foul accepted. Interesting. We so often see those get either contested or retracted. So,
but I think accepting that time he was too close for comfort, the defender.
Schlutz slicing inside shot. And another one, but this time the hand of Dvorzecki was in the way, and a deep shot straight away from Savage. It's hanging and sails nicely into the path of the receiver, who immediately pops it into the end zone. That's more like it from Savage. When their deep game works, it works so well.
When you're in trouble, bang it to Kaczmarek, to be honest. Seems to be a pretty successful strategy, and after getting the block on the end zone line there, Dvorzecki was thinking, okay, we'll take our time, we'll go slow, and then he realized, actually, why are we going slow? Let's just grip it and rip it. And proves to be a very fruitful decision. He's got to commit the closest defender, and good backup there from Sebastian Manchak to provide the next body and convert the score. Still no breaks in this second half, Lou.
No, and Savage are going to require some if they are to take this game.
And even when they gave up possession in the first half, they were mighty keen on getting it back. 3 turns so far this game from Nullacht's O-line, 2 in the first point, and then 1 when they scored to make it 4-3, and that for the Nullacht offense.
Let's see if they can maintain that perfect record in the second half. First look at a zone defense. Savage. Slightly surprised they didn't come earlier, given how
windy it is. Neither side really has gone to zone that much, as that is a foul on the force there from Gibke.
Yep, immediately accepts the foul call. Good spirit. It's working hard. Trying to put as much pressure on the force as he can in this cup zone. Reading now. Stall count rising, but there was always some players to throw to. As Nullacht seem to be fairly comfortable working against this zone. That disc is high, and it just fades into the hands of Theopold. And Nullacht, once again, hold without turning over.
Just how they drew it up, right, Lou?
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, definitely. It's definitely the intended receiver.
I think I liked the zone offense. It seemed, it's sensible. They were breaking the force to get it off the line with a bit of urgency when they got close, and happy to do those little crash throughs, manipulate the mark, and really see if they could tire out the front end of the zone. Less enthusiastic about that shot into the end zone. I'm not sure Katarina Theopold minds, though. Collecting her first goal of the game.
She'll take it.
It'd be rude not to, really.
Yeah.
3 away from victory with a 4-point lead, the Germans. Which is a very good position to be in. In the other mixed pre-quarterfinals, Smog are up 11-6 on Frub. Monkey and Manchot, that all-French affair, while the Monkey and the Penguins are tied at 9s. And Tartu Turbulence have a 10-8 lead on Leamington's Lemmings. In the women's pre-quarters, Iceni 12, Bristol 6, Moon Cup 12, 3SB 6, Gravity 12, Troubles 13, and Tequila Boom Boom 8, Box 10, as that deep shot from Savage is offline.
The comeback from Gravity.
Question mark?
So Nullacht, they've been so good on offense, but on defense they give up another one. Good field position now for Savage, and an easy conversion.
With all due respect to the D-line offense, yes, your D-line's on the field to get blocks, but I think the offense shows perhaps why they're not the O-line, because there are just these mistakes creeping in that their O-line has essentially eliminated.
Yeah, they're giving up the disc far too easily.
That up the line throw has to go a bit earlier. You have to lead them a little bit more, because as you can see the edge there, it holds it up, it takes it behind the path and is able to be gobbled back up there by Manchak, who goes coast to coast for the goal. Love that thread through the centre though, to lead him out into space for the score.
So Nullacht just 3 away. Still no turnovers for their O-line in the second half. As they field the rolling pull. face the Savage zone once again. Let's see if they can work it through as well as they did in that previous point. It's a good start. Attacking from behind the disc, which is the easiest way to get space through the middle, as it forces the cup to move a lot more. This is fantastic zone offense.
I love the little redirections they've got as the end zone pass is dropped. But they did a really good job. They'll take the reset and then immediately bounce it back, slash forward, and get the cup on their heels, and this time just outside the end zone. How often do you see it? Just that last pass, a little bit rushed, hit Schultz in the hands, but it was a tough catch.
So, first break opportunity of the second half for Savage. They really need to put this in. Disc is high, but there's plenty of time and space. Another high disc, but Yannicka comes down with it. Gipke goes for the swing. Deep shot goes up. Plenty of people under it. Savage somehow come down with possession. And a wide open pass into the end zone. Gets Savage their first break of the game. Is the comeback on, Benji?
It might well be. You could say that maybe they've ridden their luck in the second half at times. Savage, they had a clean hold on their first O point after the interval, and since then they'd given the disc at least once on every O point, but Nullacht just couldn't escape into the distance, and it's the first break chance. Savage get all half, and they will live and die by the deep ball, it seems. Pack of receivers there. Schenk maybe goes up a little bit too early. Really good takedown there. And rather than rush things, Janje Novak just takes the little reset backwards. And Jensha into the end zone finds Olivia Janicka. And it's now 12-10, and it is still a tall task for Savage, but it just got a little bit shorter.
Well, 12-10 feels doable. 13-9, that's a big ask. But Savage closing the gap. And now perhaps they put the fear into the Nullacht O-line a little bit. They've been so good all game, but that pull is not it.
You might be able to hear the wind a little bit stronger. That will help explain why.
Another zone from Savage. Can't say it's worked brilliantly,
but it did get the turnover last point. Should it have got the turnover? You could say that from the position they were in, they should have converted, but they didn't.
But if they think it can do better than their match defense, then they might as well play it. Eden finds the pass through the middle. Just sneaking around the Savage defenders. Eden again, goes backwards, just a little bit of 1-2. Schlut goes infield, and the swing, almost a dropped catch, but Nullacht maintain possession. Eden and Schlut now. Once again, they're just up the yards confidently towards the end zone line, but last time they weren't able to convert. Staying a bit more patient this time. And there's the pass to the front corner of the end zone. Nicely done from Nullacht. They never really looked out of control. And now they're within 2 of the victory.
For so long it felt like teams just automatically, when they went zone, as soon as you got into the red zone, you'd melt to one-on-one coverage, even if it was not appropriate, the opportunities weren't quite there. But now teams are more happy to stay and more confident to stay with those zones all the way to the end zone lines, because as the spaces becomes a bit more at a premium, because teams generally are a bit too reticent to go backwards, I think, it means that all of a sudden those players are covering a greater percentage of the available space. But that time Nullacht again just staying in phase, in process, and trusting that eventually they would just be able to swing and find a relatively free scoring pass into the end zone, which they did, and that brings them within 2 of the win. Time is running out quite quickly here for the Poles. You look a little bit cold, Lou.
Yeah, I was hoping the temperature would increase a little bit.
Me too.
But instead, the wind has increased a bit. So it's all right. We'll survive. Savage now with the deep shot, but it falls short. Metzger was the intended receiver, but the disc did not reach her, and Nullacht with a chance to break. The D-line offense has been a bit questionable so far this game, and they have a long way to go to convert this one. But if they do, it makes their life a lot easier, as a call
travel
has been made. Yeah, travel is the.
And that's part of good communication, is echoing calls when you see them to make sure that they are communicated properly and clearly.
So if Nullacht can punch in this break, then that takes a lot of pressure off of the O-line for the next few points, because they know they will have plenty of opportunities to score to close out the game, but a long way to go. Deep shot. It's very high, floating, plenty of players underneath it. And Adam Lipak does come down with. I had a really good look at that, and I do not know whether that was up.
No, me neither. I thought, yeah, this will be up, and then I literally get it, I was like, oh, I'm not.
Yeah,
I think it's taken a little bit of a skim there. Yeah. Certainly a daisy cutter at least. Nullacht's looking for their first break of the half. Oh, I was going to say that's probably not the way to start the possession, but apparently I'm wrong.
It held up. Fantastic reset defense.
Foul called though. Certainly sticky coverage from Dvorzecki.
Looks like the foul will be uncontested.
Accepted. You should know the new terminology by now, Lou. You used to be a game advisor.
Yeah, when it was back when it was called uncontested.
Quick violation as the disc rolls over from the Bristol Iceni game.
High grab. To maintain possession for Nullacht. Deep shot. You could see it in his eyes as soon as he caught the disc. That's what he wanted, but it sails way out of bounds. Wasted opportunity once again for the Nullacht D-line.
Yeah, with the wind orientated the way it is, that blade is always fighting against the elements to come back in bounds. Looks like it's going to be Dvorzecki to bring it to the front. Well, I should say the sideline.
Centering pass, and Nullacht once again poaching off on the reset a little bit, trying to clog those downfield lanes. Still count rising. Did he find a release valve? Being pushed back a little bit. Once again, the defense from Nullacht is suffocating, but Savage dealing with it so far. Dovetsky. Goes wide to Lipak, who gives it straight back. Nice lead pass, forward swing, up line. As the wind continues to bluster. It's a bit of a collision downfield, which will pause the play momentarily.
Yeah, just under a couple of minutes until the cap comes on, so if we haven't reached 15 by that point, which we won't at this stage, you finish the point, add one to the highest score, and that becomes the new cap, so it'll be game to 14 or game to 15, depending on what happens here. That one over the top of the receiver.
That is unfortunate for Savage. They were looking so good up until that point, but as I mentioned, the wind is blustery. These throws need to be well executed, otherwise they will go awry. But Nullacht have the full length to work with. Go backwards for the first one, deep in their own end zone. On the front corner now. Grutka. Looking for a reset to Schlert. Can't find it. Goes to Brown instead. Getting it down the line to Bernard. Brown gets it back. Looks off the lead pass and goes crossfield instead. Schlert pops it into the end zone for a low catch. Is it up though?
I had no real perspective.
No, me neither. Let's have another look at this cross-field shot. Good field vision.
Give us the juicy bit.
They come to a resolution on field. You can see the new use of technology rule being applied there with one player from each team looking at the replay, but the players in the field managed to come to an agreement that it was down.
Yeah, it's not so much a change of rules, it's just, I think, a clarification, because if you think back to the Open Final at EUC, there were a lot of extended stoppages in order to try and get everyone and their mother to check the technology, and it did certainly disrupt the flow of the game.
Very high deep shot from Savage. Will almost be brought down, but bobbled off the hands.
Yeah, just showed way too much of the underside of that to the wind, as the wind is again going to push this one way, way out of bounds.
So I was getting a bit excited towards the end of this game. These throws lacking the required finesse to deal with the blustery conditions. Now, the argument against the use of technology has always been that it extends stoppages. So, making it, trying to reduce that by only having one player from each team look at the replay is Seems like a reasonable adjustment.
Yeah, and you can only provide your perspective to the players on field after watching the replay if it is to the detriment of your own team. So you could look. So if you look at the screen on your own and you think it's clear that actually, you know what, we were good, you have to get someone from the other team to come over and agree it with them.
Which is also pretty reasonable. So Savage get the disc back after that errant swing pass. Had a numbers advantage briefly, but Nullacht managed to close up on defense. Once again, the Nullacht D-line offense is not firing on all cylinders. So they get another block and immediately punch it deep. Will this one come down in bounds? No, it will not. The wind, once again, just getting the better of these deep shots.
Yeah, need to adjust a bit more for that and put it further towards that far side of the pitch, because the wind is always going to push it towards us here on the camera side. Just a little by the by, coming up next on this pitch at theoretically 10:45 local time in a little over 10 minutes is open round of 16 action between Gentle and Fab.
So Savage going deep themselves into a whole pack of players once again.
I felt like that's probably what Schreiber was screaming for in front of us. Didn't quite hear what it was, but evidently their code name for timeout, and it duly is finally provided.
I was trying to listen for what word he was screaming, but yes, timeout has been called on field. So as the players catch their breath, so will we. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back after this.
Have you seen our VO streams? Do you know that VO cameras are built for more tactical team sport analysis? The inbuilt tracking technology allows you to see the game in finer detail. That's why teams are already using it, and ULTI.TV and EUF are teaming up to help you join VO. Contact EUF administration to get more details.
Always on the move? You can keep up to date with ULTI.TV on all of our social media channels. Like, follow, subscribe, share us with a friend, or send us a message just to say hey. Thank you for supporting us in our mission to grow Ultimate everywhere.
Well, we still have a few points left to play in this game as Nullacht looking to close it out. Shot to the end zone is good. No. It looked so good, but just unable to be reeled in. And once again, Nullacht just missing these break chances.
Yeah, you can see this time they does way up the edge, and it's low because it's sinking as it gets to her, and she can't quite get the hand underneath it, kind of scooping it with the trailing edge a little bit. Slightly awkward catch there.
So Savage having to go the full length of the field.
I remember this would just be a hold for Savage if they do so. Savage have turned the disc over plenty in the second half, although Nullacht haven't punished them. It was that run they had at the end of the first half that's done the real damage.
Yeah, it's still very much Nullacht's game to lose. Savage finally managed to work it forwards after being pinned on their own end zone line. Really just waiting for them to uncork a deep shot. You can sense that they're getting a little bit sick and tired of having to grind out these resets, as a foul is called on the swing pass. Time went a little while ago, so this will either be a game to 14 if Savage can, well, if Savage get the disc back after this discussion and then punch in the goal, or a game to 15 if Nullacht punch in the break.
Yep, scores just coming in, being finalised. The top half of the mixed bracket is set. Reading versus Tartu will play, the winner of that game will play the winner of GRUT and Smog. Disconnection will play the winner of Manchot versus Monkey, which is currently Manchot up 12-10. And the winner of that quarterfinal plays the winner of Deep Space versus the winner of this game, which at the moment looks like being Nullacht. The women's quarterfinals are just about set. All that happens is Box need to put in that one final point against Tequila Boom Boom. So it would be Jinx versus Box, with the winner playing the winner of East Block versus Troubles, while on the other half of the bracket, the winner of Yakovi Iceni plays the victor between Shout and Moon Cup. And that is a very tasty slate of women's quarterfinals indeed.
The women's division this year is absolutely phenomenal.
Gravity didn't even make top 8. Gravity were a very, very good side. Tequila Boom Boom, like, they might not make it. Like, there is depth in the women's division this year.
So the resolution of the call was contested, so this goes back. There is the deep shot. This time nicely collected by Dvovsky. But they can't convert the score, and this point continues on.
It might never end at this rate.
It's been going for a good 12 minutes or so.
Yeah, I feel that's about that, at least that.
There was a timeout. It's a layout save for Nullacht. Big gainer downfield, but pops out of the hands of Ruka. Back. But it pops out of the hands of Makaushka.
Feels a little bit like at this point I think both sides would quite enjoy just the point ending.
Unfortunately, someone has to score. But neither team looks interested at the moment. Yet another turnover.
There are some very weary legs out there at this point now.
Okay, Savage go for the reset. Goretzka. Lipak. Looking for something. Stall count rising. Goes for the swing pass. But unfortunately, Dvovsky was not on the same page. Bennett for Nullacht, gets the return pass, shoots to the end zone, and that one was tasty.
What's that been?
After all those overthrown deep shots, we finally get a beautiful finesse pass into the back of the end zone, and it will be a game to 15.
Berent just feathers that flick over the top, doesn't she? A beautifully weighted throw.
A nice forehand give go. Gets the disc back. Finds the target. And a fantastic throw. Schlutz with the score.
So Nullacht 14-10 up, 15 is the target. You feel like surely the German's going to be in the quarterfinal unless Savage can have the most remarkable of comebacks. Feels unlikely, but until they close it out, it's still up in the air.
So Nullacht looking to break for the win. Savage looking to extend the game and give themselves an opportunity to go on a phenomenal run. Deep shot goes up, looking for Gibke, who does find it. It looked like it was maybe overthrown for a second. But
yeah, I felt like it wasn't going to work, but I was wrong, and then off the hands and collected off the tip.
Novak gets the score on the second effort, and Nullacht will have to win it on offense.
Yeah, Savage had a clean hold to start this half, and they hadn't managed one since, but they managed to get one in there, and now can they utilize that to power them, to get this break train rolling defensively, and see if they can snatch the unlikely, unthinkable victory? Or will Nullacht stay calm, stay focused, and calmly walk it down for the win?
Well, there's not too much pressure on them this point, but if they give up that break, suddenly things get a little bit more interesting as the teams have opted to take a timeout. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back.
Wait. Isn't this for the other apparel? We've got like new stuff, right? Bring it. No, bring it in.
Feast your eyes on the new fan version of our iconic ULTI.TV sweatshirts. Great fan gear available for you. Check out our new range of colors and insist on staying warm and looking fresh. Shipping is available after EUCF. Get your fan gear and be one of us.
May have noticed a sneaky new advert in there with some of your favourite ULTI.TV crew members sporting the new coloured jumpers.
Which explains why I wasn't on there. Oh look, the sun's come out.
Finally. So Nullacht with their first opportunity to take the game on offense after Savage punched in that clean hold. Zone again. Very close cut. Nullacht have been so good on offense all game long, but there's a turnover.
Foot block.
And if Savage can punch this in, then the comeback feels
very much alive.
So Lipak immediately shooting deep, pressure underneath it, but it is brought down by Kaczmarek. He's looking for Lipak in the reset space, does find him.
There's a player wide open, but he's all the way across the end zone.
Wow. There was a lot of pressure on that disc.
Speared it into Kaczmarek.
No one signaled goal yet, but no one signaled foul either, so it just looks like there was just a bit of a bump for Schlutt. Hopefully we have a game on our hands, Menji.
It's not off, is it? Come back. It's certainly not off. I mean, they were dicing with death, and they really ripped those flicks. And twice Kaczmarek does really well to come back and attack the disc and snatch it just before the defender. And from being in a very comfortable position for most of this game, all of a sudden, Nullacht might be sweating a little bit. They'll still have 3 more chances to close it out, but if you don't text one, I think you really do begin to feel the pinch.
And especially after the offensive performance on that previous point, it was not convincing. They turned over quite early, and it was a good foot block, but really that's not a play that should be available if your offense is firing against the zone. You shouldn't really ever be in a...
Right, I'm with you.
So, you know, it is a clear mistake from the offense, and if the offense is making Breska with the block, and Gibke immediately picks up, and Give goes hammer across the far side. They're playing with confidence now, and they do bring it down. Kaczmarek once again.
Is he in though? That is the question. Savage seemed to think so.
I thought I saw players on both teams signaling goal. Maybe I was wrong. Tense moments here, closing stages of this game. Let's have another look.
It's a spicy option.
Need to break and take it to Universe.
Yeah,
Gimski will pick up.
Unsurprisingly, this is the only pre-quarter final matchup yet to be finished.
Goretzky finds Gibke, who of course goes for the deep shot, but it's hanging, and Schlutt brings it down uncontested.
His second block of the game, along with a couple of assists and 3 goals as well.
This time does thread the needle, finds an option on the far side of the field. Deep shot goes up, but that was always going to be a Savage block.
Nearly 25 minutes overtime now.
Deep shot for Savage. This one is also hanging, but it is complete. Novak saves possession for Savage.
I feel like he wanted to pull the trigger there and just thought better of it in the end. Probably a wise holster.
Shot towards the end zone, just a few meters outside now, and there's the pop in, but it is incomplete. I thought we were going to Universe, but Nullacht save the point.
What a crazy, crazy game, Lou.
This is absolutely wild. There was a time where Nullacht looked all but certain to take it, and here we are with millimeters away from going to Universe.
We had that hell point with 15 turnovers, and eventually Nullacht got the break, put themselves up 14-10, and it seemed like from there it was guaranteed the quarterfinal place, but no, Savage are not going down quietly.
No, they want this quarterfinal spot desperately. Nullacht with horrendous field position, opts to go for the deep shot. I like the idea of not wanting to be on your end zone line, but keeping the disc back to Savage when they've looked so powerful this point is dicey. Novak Tried to find Gibke, but Nullacht got there first. Schlut goes far side. Schlut infield. And then cross this near side. Ruka drops the disc though. The game just keeps on giving. Massive layout grab to save possession from Novak, who immediately gives it away. We have a saying about that.
These two sides are taking metaphorical lumps out of each other. How they'll have, whoever wins, I don't know how they'll have anything left for that quarter-final against Deep Space.
Deep Space got to be feeling pretty good. If they are watching this one. Can't see them on the sidelines, but Schlut now. Blade across the far side. Burnett goes back. Slut's overthrows Schlut though. This point continues on. You have to wonder, eventually Savage has got to be putting in these chances.
Do they though? I mean, if they don't, they're not going to win. But at this point in this game, I think I've given up trying to predict what's going to happen.
Anything is on the cards. Reset does find Gibke up the line, who pulls the trigger. And a fantastic layout save from Kaczmarek, who does punch in the score to the number 91 shirt of Novak. And we have a universe point situation, Benji.
Universe, double game point, sudden death, whatever you want to call it. We've got it, and how unlikely this seemed when they won the Slugfest Nullacht to go up 14-10. But a clean hold for Savage, a couple of clean breaks, and that break was anything but clean. 9 turnovers combined, but my word, there were some big plays from both sides. The deep shot from Gibke found Kaczmarek with the full strength layout, and he zips it into the end zone for Zhenzhen Novak, and we do have Universe 14-14, game to 15. This game just keeps on giving. Now, what? Nearly 50, over
27 minutes
into
overtime.
For some reason, I just couldn't somehow words for a second. I think my brain is melted by this game.
This is a absolutely ridiculous situation. Now, at this point, Nullacht have been able to rotate through their players a little bit more than Savage have. Savage have been putting their top players out for the past 5 or 6 points at least. But we do see Novak, Kaczmarek coming off the field.
That's
bold
choice, given how it feels like Kaczmarek has been huge in powering this
I'd keep him
comeback.
out there, but Gibke is still on the pitch. I mean, Gibke hasn't looked particularly interested in being on the sideline the entire game.
No.
So that's unsurprising, but
were Pax out there as well.
So Wieden, who I think was resting last point. And Schlut, who definitely wasn't. Check. Back to Wieden.
Surely they're not just going to work it calmly down the field on Universe after the last few points.
How disappointingly uneventful that would be, but they're looking good so far. Wieden on the doorstep now. And there's the pop into the front corner. Nullacht do clutch it out eventually. It was 14-10. It was then 14-all, and Nullacht returns the form with a clean hold to win on Universe Point. They go into the quarterfinals.
What a heartbreaker for Savage. Did all the hard work, and then somehow they found the composure, the Germans, to just about eke out the win in sudden death. 15-14 final score.
Well, Here are the game stats for you. 30 break chances for Nullacht. We were questioning their D-line offense, but they do eventually take the game 15-14. Plenty more ultimate still to come today. I'm going to run over to the other pitch, but from Lou Burgess and Benji Reese, we will see you on the other side.
Thank you. Thanks.
Yeah, ultimate.
ULTI.TV.